All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode here at the Money Game, so Black people can win and dominate. Happy to come to you tonight. What is this? Sunday night. We missed you last broadcast. We were in Chicago celebrating Savior's Day. So Ramadan Mubarak to everybody who's celebrating a Ramadan. So we're excited, brothers and sisters. We'll be able to break our fast here in a couple of minutes. So we just want to make sure everything is okay. So we got an exciting program for you tonight. We want you to go ahead and get comfortable, get a notepad and pen, because this is the money game. So Black people can win and dominate. That comes from my book. If you don't have it, you should get it. You can go to themoneygamebook.com. Go to it tomorrow. The site will be back up. We're making some changes to it. But you want to get this book, brothers and sisters, because money's like oxygen, right? Second most important thing is money after oxygen. And if those of us who have the book, I got a special announcement here coming up at the end of the show. But you want to get this book, brothers and sisters. This is not like any other book you've ever bought or read about money. It's coming from the perspective of winning and dominating for Black people. And there's a lot involved in that. It's something that we have to, perspective we have to start addressing, start talking about. Winning and dominating in the money game. And it's bigger than just you and yourself and your family, all right? So tonight we're going to talk about three things tonight. Write this down. We're going to talk about money isn't our problem. What? What do you mean, Daryl? Eggs at all-time high, gas at all-time high. Let's not talk about, chicken and eggs and milk and butter and cheese and bread, the staples of life. But trust and believe, brothers and sisters, money is not your problem. Then we're going to also talk about it's not your fault. Whatever financial condition that we're in as a people, as individual, that's less than what it should be, what it can be, then it's not your fault. We're going to talk about that. And last but not least, this is a very good time to be in. I'm watching all the stuff with Donald Trump, and I'm listening to the talking heads and the pundits. Just know, brothers and sisters, we're going to talk about it later on in the show. Just know that these can be some very good times, but we have to do some specific things. And I'm going to share that with you here on this program. So once again, brothers and sisters, welcome to the Money Game, so Black people can win and dominate. Thank you to Closing the Gap broadcast for allowing me to come on the launch of my book about a year ago. We haven't been on the show that long, but the book came out 2 years coming up this November. So you want to get a copy. Got something special for you if you get a copy by going to themoneygamebook.com, but you have to go tomorrow. We got a special announcement. I'm going to announce it tonight, but you want to be a part of it. Trust and believe. All right. So we're just getting back from Savior's Day in Chicago. That was a beautiful, beautiful experience. We had it right there on the grounds of our headquarters. Your headquarters, the National Center of the Nation of Islam there in Chicago. All the believers were there together. We saw, each other, and we love. It's the crowning event of Black History Month, but it's also a family reunion. So we're just getting back from that. We're fired up, brothers and sisters, taking things to the next level. It's time for us to go to the next level. Whatever you thought you can do more. Talking to myself. I'm just letting you listen, right? Because my sojourn over the past, 45 years now, that's when my conscience was pricked about the possibilities, the financial possibilities for me. And I've been in pursuit of that ever since, right? And the more you uncover, the more you know that there's still more there. That's why these things that I've learned and I share in my book and I share in these broadcasts and I share as often as I can is these nuggets. They're like pebbles on the beach. right? There's a bunch of pebbles on the beach, grains of sand on the beach. And depending on how big you have your vision, your aspirations financially is, the more pieces to the puzzle, right? If your financial aspiration is small, and there's no judgment, God gives you free will. So who am I to impose my will on you when God is giving you free will, right? So whatever it is, if it's small, then you have fewer pieces. If you have a grandiose idea, financial aspirations like I do, then there's a whole lot of pieces, right? And you pick some up here, and you pick some up there, and you pick some up there. Some you need now, some you need later. See, you have to go in with this understanding. If you knew you had to find 1,000,000 pieces to make $1 million, you won't get discouraged when you found 50,000, because you went in knowing that I'm going to need at least 1,000,000 pieces. Okay, so somebody has to come and tell us, give us an idea, raise the ceiling off of our thinking, so now we can go out with a different mindset, with a clearer vision, so we can know what to look for, and we can see what it is that we're looking at. As it says in the Bible, we won't go and spy the land and come back and say they're giants. We'll clean our eyes, get rid of the falsehood and the mystery and the myths around money. So now when we look at things, we can see it for what it is. They're not giants. They're men like you and I. They're men and women like you and I. So brothers and sisters, but we have to get it from a different perspective. We're looking through the lens of 400 years, not just of oppression. I shouldn't say not just of oppression, but oppression includes trauma. 400 and counting years of trauma that we have to overcome just so we can have the same opportunity, have the same leverage, the same opportunity on a bigger scale. There's too few of us Black people, children of ex-slaves, who are at the high level of financial security. It's not enough of us. Not when there's 40 million Black people in America. And you see what's happening in DC, and things are shrinking and it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, because God is going to force us to do, force me to do, force you to do what we knew we should have done all along. So we forced God's hand, and he'll play the hand that he has. And he has the best hand at the card table, right? So brothers and sisters, we want to talk about real quick, and hopefully the courage coach, your courage coach, will be on, Brother Asad Muhammad. Because, see, it's not just spiritual and not physical. It's not just physical and not spiritual. See, when you really understand what's required to ascend and to rise up above where you are now, the condition you're at now, then you understand that it's a duality. And when you don't understand that, you'll sacrifice one for the other. But once you realize that, and then go out and pursue with that understanding what you need to maintain the dualities, right? And you're doing them congruently. So let's talk about real money. Is not your and my problem. I don't care how much egg prices are. That is not our problem. Why is it a problem for most, but not a problem for others? Well, they have money. They have money, Daryl. They're rich. They're wealthy. So, yeah, money is the problem. No, money is not the problem. Yes, it is. No, it's not. When we better understand, have a better understanding of money and the whole concept of money, not just money from a consumer standpoint, not just money from a wage earner standpoint, but understand money in a bigger, comprehensive way, then we'll understand that money, brothers and sisters, is a byproduct of something. It comes after something else. The material world comes after the spiritual world. So money comes after something. Something has preceded money. Money is the byproduct. Money is the result of something happening to have money be drawn towards you and become present in your life. See, so those that understand don't chase money. Those that truly understand attract money and then understand or ask the question, how can I attract more? What do I have to bring to the table? What do I have to deliver first in order to get? Okay, so money is not our problem. Our problem is that we don't have the right mindset, thinking. We don't have the right perspective. Most of us have been educated in public education. And even if it's not public, it's still education for the masses. See, that's why the wealthy, those who understand as they acquire money, acquire wealth, one of the first things they do is put their children in private school. They sacrifice a house, sacrifice their livelihood, sacrifice whatever is necessary to put their children in private school. When I grew up, it was called parochial school, Catholic school, right? So they put them in private schools because they knew and understood that public school is for the masses of the people. And the masses of the people will always be workers, worker bees. They'll always be employees. And if they need more money, they'll go get out a second job and a third job and drive Uber as a way to solve a permanent situation. I used to tell my friends and family back in the day, you want to pray for me? Pray that I make more money. Pray that I make more money. Because if you wait for gas prices to come down, that's a losing proposition. If you're looking for egg prices to come down, that's a losing proposition. And most of us know that. So what do? We pick up side jobs. We do something on the side to augment, if you will. We do something on the side so that now we can have the money that we need to cover the inflation. So is our mindset. Even that approach is the right approach, but you're still trading time for money. So mass education is designed to groom us to think a certain way, to act a certain way, to get certain qualifications. So those that don't go to private school, we can work for them. I mean, public schools can work for them. They go to private schools. They are in private clubs. They're in private groups. They're in private organizations. They're not looking to be among the masses when it comes to what we're talking about here. Advancement, accomplishment, building wealth. We'll always have our relatives. We'll always have our friends. But when it comes to a specific thing, a specific objective, winning and dominating at the money game. That's why I call this book not just the money game. You'll get the book and read. We all play the money game. Homeless person plays the money game. Your little baby that you give $1 to plays the money game. But the winning and dominating part, that's something totally different. So I'm here to tell you, brothers and sisters, we have to get our minds right. We have to think totally different from what the masses have been telling us, what society has told us. Very few of us had parents or someone that raised us who sat us down and instructed us about money. Just like you go to school, The teacher is called what? The instructor, instructing you and I. That's how intentional the money game has to be played in our lives. We have to make it, it has to be intentional. Can't be a hobby. I remember hearing years ago, you treat your business like a hobby, you'll make hobby money. And that's why very few people reach high levels of economic or financial success, brother, because, brothers and sisters, I tell you, it's not easy. I've been on that path for a very long time, and it's not easy. It's easier to give up. It's easier to fall back down or to stay within that group of the masses. But that's a losing proposition. We do much better going out every day, trying to make it happen. Because the only way you fail is if you don't try. But if you continue and you get better and better and smarter and learn the comprehensive understanding of money, not just money in your life, not just money from a receiving end, not just money from as a consumer, but money in general. That's why I call it financial consciousness versus financial literacy. Like I went to a seminar last week and I heard a guy, the presenter, if you will, said, you can have the knowledge of, you're out in the forest, you're going to have the knowledge of cutting down the tree and, and how to fend for yourself. And you can know all these things. But without the application of it, then what good is it? Then what good is it, brothers and sisters? And see, the thing about it is nobody is going to come and tell you or give you all the pieces you need. That's something you and we have to do on our own. People are coming to your life. I will give you some nuggets. Somebody else will give you some nuggets, but you have to put it together. I'm selling you the salt. Somebody else going to sell you the pepper. Somebody else going to sell you the onion. Somebody else going to sell you the bell peppers. But if you got all that, but you don't know how to apply it, then you can be very limited in your enjoyment of those ingredients. Sure, I'm sure you can bite into an onion and bite into a bell pepper and put some salt and season it in your hand or season it on it and just eat it raw like that, but you won't get as much enjoyment out of it as someone who goes and gets the knowledge and then applies that knowledge to those same raw ingredients that you and I have. See, so that's what we have to understand. We have to understand it's not going to be easy. We have to understand that it's a discovery. We have to understand that you have to be able to know what is in your best interest. I mean, we live in America. People come from around the world to come to America because of prosperity. This is the largest economy in the world, which is based on free enterprise, business, entrepreneurship, and the American dream. See, that's what I mean about a comprehensive. We got to get out of this, what is it called? This myopic, this real small, all you can see is just your world. That means something from outside the world to get so close up to you before you can see it. And at that point, it's too late. So money is not your problem. Get my book, brothers and sisters. It'll shorten your time. You want to know what a hack, that means a shortcut. Technology has compressed time and made people more efficient. Well, the number one way to become more efficient has been around for thousands and millions and trillions of years. As long as there have been people, technology has been around. Technology been around for trillions of years? Yeah, it has literally been around for trillions of years. But what I'm talking about is us learning, shortening our learning curve by other people's experiences or what they've learned, and they pass it on to you. They pass it on to me. That has been happening since there have been human beings having life experiences. Right? having life experiences. Let me do something. You know what? I'm waiting on the Courage Coach to get on here and let me see something. I didn't even send him the link. Hold on a second, brother. So y'all do want to hear from the Courage Coach, right? Let's see here. We are live. This is what you call live broadcast. Hold on a second. Let's get our brother here. Because I know he's probably blowing up my phone. I can't look at it. I bet he's blowing up my phone. Where's the link, brother? Where's the link? Because the Courage Coach, he gonna be here now. I was wondering why he wasn't here. Let me let him know. Okay. All right. You gotta love life. Life is real. Okay. So, Brandon, so that's number one. All right, that's number one. Right? Hopefully you took some nice notes. If not, come by and look at it later. If you have some questions, go ahead and put it down there. Let me get some shout outs. RN Ren, sister, there you are. I see y'all. It's a K Solo. Subscribe, share, like, and tell a friend. That's right. That's right, brother. Or whoever it is, K Solo. All right, so put your comments in. If you have any questions, I go real fast. Like I said, you know, I've been doing this a long time, so I know I can cover a lot of information in a short period of time. But definitely share, because we didn't come on a last scheduled broadcast because we were in Chicago. So it's actually been up, I guess, almost a month since we've been here. So we need for you to share, brothers and sisters. We need for you to share so you can come on and join us. So that's number one. Money isn't your, my, or our problem. Number two, right? Don't feel bad, because it's not your fault. It's not my fault that I'm not further along than where I want to be in life or financially. It's not your fault. It's not your mom's fault. So stop. So don't blame. Don't look for blame. It's not because you grew up, you know, with no father, no mother, single family home. It's not because of that. It's not because you had some hiccups, as we all do in life. We have some setbacks in life. It's not your fault, because the game is rigged. I talk about that in my book. The game is rigged, brother. So yes, it is. Oh, yes, it's rigged now. It's rigged. Please believe me. It's rigged. Right? And you don't want to take the position of being cynical. Right? And you go down these rabbit holes, they call it. You just so engulfed in the conspiracy theories. Right? Don't worry about the skull and bones. Just be aware that it exists. It matters not if Obama was or wasn't. I mean, why spend all that time, brother? Because, you know, we're not going to be here forever. We know that, but we need to act like that. So our time is very, very valuable. I just lost a dear friend of mine 2 days ago, Friday. Yeah, Friday. Been knowing him for 35 years. I know him as Dwayne Wiggins. You know him as Tony. Right? So we're not going to be here. And we don't know how much longer we're going to be here. It matters not that you're 20. It matters not that you're 40. It matters not that you're 50. A 20-year-old person might die before the 40, before the 60-year-old. There's a saying, go live this day as if it's your last day. So it's not your fault. It's not my fault, because it's rigged. Okay, now since we know it's rigged, what am I supposed to do? I can't go against these institutions that have rigged the game so they can win, and the ones they choose can win. So what did I do? I just kind of just enjoy life and don't worry about trying to be financially secure. Don't worry about trying to be the one in my family with so much financial resources that I can help my family and support my family. So am I to give up because I'm not bigger than, you know, those that rigged the game? No. Just the opposite, brothers and sisters. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not my mother's fault. It's not because our forefathers came over here as slaves. It's not our fault that we're in this condition. It's not our fault that the wealth gap between black and whites is widening. It's not our fault, but here it is. Here's the punchline. But it is our responsibility to get out of that situation. It is your responsibility to get out of that situation. It is my and our responsibility to do all that we can to raise the tide. High tide raises all boats. Raise the tide up. Because if I raise the tide up for myself and my family, and you do it for your family, then black folks' tide will rise. It's not your or my fault, but it is 100% your and my responsibility. That's one of the many things that separate those that win and dominate at the money game and those that don't. There's a small group that do, and the rest don't. And that is, those that win and dominate at the money game take 100% responsibility for themselves. Financially, health-wise, educationally, spiritually. They're not dependent on that which the masses depend on. Because here's the thing, it's very simple, brothers and sisters. It's very simple. That's why they don't want the masses to have it, because it really is simple. They complicate things as part of the scheme, as part of it being rigged. Now, some things are pretty hard, like, science. But money, not so much so. If you can count, that's money. You can count, that's money. You can add, that's money. You can multiply, that's money. You can subtract, that's money. You can divide, that's money. That's money. If you can count, that's money. Okay? So they take 100% responsibility for everything in their life. Who their friends are, what kind of car they drive, what they have in their environment, how they're thinking, what they're putting in their minds, what they expose themselves to, what they allow to go into their ears. Because they have a comprehensive understanding, they understand that that's vitally important. And things that don't seem important, they're minute. And because they're minute doesn't indicate how important it is. How big it is doesn't indicate how important it is. We're talking about money. We're talking about the money game. Because money is a byproduct of something. Money is the manifestation, the materialization of that which you have not seen, which you don't see. That's always the case. You don't see those people, those business owners, those entrepreneurs. You didn't see Amazon and Jeff Bezos you've seen that picture of him sitting at a desk in a room with stuff all on the wall. See, we didn't see that. We just see Amazon. We just see the physical trucks in the neighborhood. See, so when you understand that, you know that, okay, I'm going to do a lot of work unseen. The making of what I want to produce is in the unseen, is off the radar, is not fanfare, it's not around my family and friends. It's going to be primarily just me. It always starts with just you. So, brothers and sisters, if you start and I start and we start taking more responsibility for everything, and it starts small. Be responsible for your environment, keeping it clean. Stay responsible for your environment, keeping it organized. And if you already do that, then take it to the next level. But just know that is not your fault, but is 100% your responsibility. That's your desire. You say you want to be financially secure. You say you want to win and dominate the money game. You say you want to pay off your credit card debt. You say you want to buy farmland for your family. You say you want to grow food because you know this food not good for you. See, they don't even eat the masses of food. I went to Whole Foods. I'm like, damn, that people complain about eggs, how high eggs are, and these folks still in Whole Foods, spending Whole Food type money. I'm just saying, they're taking full responsibility. They're cutting other areas, but certain areas, certain things you don't cut because it's vital. It's very, very vital and important. So when you get on the other side of whatever the circumstance is, you're healthier. Right? You're healthier. So that's number 2, brothers and sisters, as we wait for the Courage Coach to come on. Hopefully he'll come on. If not, we'll have to pick him up next week on next broadcast. This is broadcast number 15. All right. So that's number 2. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. Here's the last one. And then we'll take a break and see if we can get the Courage Coach on. All right. So we talk about the egg, we talk about the gas price, we talk about car insurance and home insurance. Talked to a lady the other day because, looking to see if I can help from a real estate investors. Might be a deal, it may not be a deal. But her mortgage went up $400 because of the insurance. The insurance went up. See, as you grow in your understanding, brothers and sisters, of the money game, the win and dominate, once you're aware, once you become more aware and your awareness expands, then as you see these disasters around America, the fire and the tornado and the flooding, know the insurance price is going to go up. It's better to be prepared and not needed than needed and not be prepared. That's why we have to understand, see, we need to have an abundance of money, not for greedy purposes, not for creature comforts. We need to have a abundance because we don't know what to expect. This world is crazy. America, brothers and sisters, if you're not watching it, watch it. Watch and see what's happening in D.C. and how Donald Trump is flipping this thing upside down. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that before Donald Trump's first term, he will take America down like a rocket ship. We didn't see it the first time. Oh, the minister, see that? I'm not going to say nothing. But you see what he's doing now, right? Right? And when you start having more of a comprehensive understanding of life, of things in your environment, that's why I say it's financial consciousness. Consciousness means to be aware of your environment, your surroundings. Financial literacy has to do with me, my credit score, my debt, my income, my expenses, right? My insurance policy. See, that's still a mass population way of thinking. I'm not saying it's bad. But one who has consciousness, awareness of his surroundings. Gave an example to a brother the other day when I was in Chicago for Savior's Day. That example, I said, financial literacy is like me having martial arts. I can protect myself. I can defend myself. Right? That's financial literacy. I'm in shape and my mind is prepared to defend and not be afraid of danger, but assess the danger and neutralize the danger. But what happens if you're not aware of your surroundings enough and you didn't see the guy 100 feet away reaching in his backpack, pulling out his gun and coming towards you? See, that's awareness of your environment. That's being conscious of your environment. You're going to wait until he get into your personal space and now he might shoot you from a distance. But if you're aware and conscious of your environment, then you can see suspicious activities and get out of harm's way or neutralize it or whatever. See, so that's the difference of financial consciousness, being aware of your surroundings, and financial literacy, only being aware and having the skills and the knowledge and applying it just to your personal life. Because if your surroundings, your economical environment gets real bad, then how you gonna implement financial literacy? How you gonna pay down your credit card bill if you lose your job? How you gonna buy life insurance and pay your premium if you don't have a job? If you didn't save any money, if you don't have no financial resources to draw from for unexpected circumstances. So the last thing is, now check this out. Check this out. The last thing is, these can be some very good times for you and I. I'm talking about these times that what's going on right now with Donald Trump and Doge and all this can be some real good times for us. You and I can come, we can come up during this time. What? Wait a minute, Daryl. No. You're missing me on that. Miss me on that, like the young folks say. Remember, you and I have been educated in public. We've been educated for the masses. We've gotten mass education, either directly from school or directly from school and society. The only way you're not a part of this matrix is if you recognize the matrix, right? Awareness, and know how to get out of it, or don't have it affect you as much, so you can hopefully get further away from it as you possibly can. But that's taking full responsibility for yourself and being 100% self-sustainable. Living off the grid, people call it. You have to grow your food, right? You have to produce everything. Water, where you gonna get your water from? Where you gonna get your electricity from? Where you gonna get your heat from? So these can be some very good times. And I'll put it to you like this. We see the madness. First thing you got to do is step away from the madness. Don't get so close. Like I say, see, having a comprehensive is being away from something and seeing it in the distance. So don't drink the Kool-Aid of anything that is pushed on the masses of the people. Because then you'll have to have, as the Bible says, the spirit of discernment. The spirit of discernment to be able to recognize what's right and what's wrong. And that takes a greater skill than just stepping back and looking at it from across the street, instead of being up on close on it and you can't see but what's directly in front of you. So Daryl, how can you say that these can be some very good times for us? Don't think like the masses. Don't consume mass information. And understand, brothers and sisters, what we're looking at. We're looking at what they call in business disruption. You like Uber? Uber, right? You like Uber, right? See the opportunity that comes from Uber? Because Uber disrupted the taxi industry. Look at all the people, the common person that can come now and drive for Uber. Look at the owners, I'm sure, have made millions of dollars for themselves, the investors, the company, Uber and Lyft, because they disrupted an industry. Right? So you have those that get in on the front end of disruption and make the most money because they take the most responsibility. They take the greater risk. They were part in the development and growth of something. And then you have us at the far other end that gets the smaller pieces of the pie because we're on the consuming end. Once again, we're consumers. We're consuming the opportunity of driving for Lyft or Uber. But my point is, when you're looking at what's going on, that's disruption. There's opportunities there. Just like in the taxi cab industry, just like in the book industry. Amazon started out with books. Barnes and Noble closed down, and these other book retailers closed down because of Amazon. Why? Because they came in and disrupted the booking, the traditional booking industry to buy books. And look how convenient that is for you and I. Look, we're getting better deals. Now we're getting access to books that we wouldn't have access to if they had to be in the local Barnes and Noble bookstore, private bookstores. See what I'm saying? Because they came and disrupted. But see, those that understand and have a comprehensive understanding of money to win and dominate, they're looking for these things. They recognize these things. And the beautiful thing about knowledge, brothers and sisters, once the veils of ignorance have been pulled off your eyes, now you can see. That's disruption. I mean, nobody came and told me this. It's just that as an ex-stockbroker, like I said, I've been on this journey for 45 years. I used to work not on Wall Street, but I worked for a brokerage firm as a broker for two major Wall Street firms. It was called Dean Woodard, now Morgan Stanley, and then Charles Schwab. So I understand it's not about the money. I looked at, I said, their mindset. For those of us who know who Warren Buffett is, one of the greatest investors in American history, in modern times at least, one of the investing strategies is you buy when people are selling and you sell when people are buying. That's the same thing, disruption. While everybody running and scared, and oh my God, what to do? Oh man, inflation gonna go through the roof. Oh, those that have those eyes, that have that veil taken off their eyes, they say, okay, this is disruption. There's some opportunities here. Right? And then your mind, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, your mind is infinite. See, you start thinking a certain way, certain ideas are coming to your mind. You draw it out of the atmosphere, out of the ether. Where do you think Wi-Fi comes from? You mean the phone can pull signals out of here and you can call me and I can answer, but your mind can't do that? That's why I say it's not about money once you have a comprehensive. Especially if you're talking about winning and dominating. Right? And you talk about VCRs. There's some of y'all ain't old enough to know about VCRs, or even CD for music or for movies. Right? You used to have a place called Blockbuster. You go and rent movies and put it in your machine at your house. See, it's been dead so long, some of you all don't even know what I'm talking about. But that was disruption. Somebody came and upset how things are done, and oh my goodness, that ain't right. You can't do that. You're just disrupted. We're used to this. We're comfortable with this. This is the way it's normal. It doesn't matter on if it's wasteful or efficient or inefficient or who's getting robbed and who's getting gypped. We're just used to it. I mean, this is normal. You're coming in to disturb what's normal. See? So with this level of understanding, brothers and sisters, we can get excited. Oh man, this is disruption. This is what Amazon did. This is what Blockbuster, what happened to Blockbuster. This is what Uber did. This is what Airbnb, right? Hotels had this short-term rental locked down. You either do long-term in an apartment or a home or lease a home, or you're going to do a hotel. There's only two, a home ownership. Right? Airbnb came and disrupted that industry. And look, now you can get a house, put on Airbnb, short-term rentals, and make your mortgage in a week, 2 weeks. So what do we see happening in America? What do we see happening in DC? What do we see? We see disruption. And somebody gonna get rich and financially free and win and dominate the money game because they know what they're looking at, and it's not what the news broadcast is telling them. It's not what their friends at the beauty and barbershops telling them. It's not what their friends tell them at the church and the mosque. It's not that. They understand if it's for them, if the masses of the people talking about it, that ain't what you want to talk about. Because you're never winning and dominating anything talking about the way what the mass of the people are talking about and thinking the way they think. See, that goes beyond just I just want to make 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. That's good now. Don't get me wrong. Now it just is what it is. People play the money game at different levels, and don't judge. I don't judge people. It takes everybody. Everybody can't be business owners. Everybody can't be entrepreneurs. Everybody can't be dentists. I mean, everybody mean a mass, a large number. You can't have a whole lot of people being doctors. If you get to a point of critical mass, then the society is tilted now. Now you got more doctors than patients. Now you have more lawyers than clients. You have more teachers than students ratio. Things are upside down. See, that's having a 30,000 foot view and understanding of the things that are relevant in your life. And everything that comes in your fear of living is relevant to your life. All right? So I hope that helps. That's 3 things. This book is about taking the lid off of our thinking. And once you become a free and independent thinker, brother and sister, you apply that to money. You apply that to health. You apply that to relationships. You apply that to recreation. You apply that to everything. But to become, win at the money game and lose it in your health, what good is that? You're going to spend all your money trying to keep your health. What's good to be healthy? You don't have no money to buy the best foods. So now we get sick and we shorten our lifespan because we didn't take full responsibility to go out and get what we needed to eat the best foods. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, eat the best food that you can afford to buy. And if that's top ramen, then we need to get our money game up. That's all that means. And then you go and get the best food, and then the best food, and then the best food. And the best food is always the food that you grow yourself, because you know 100% what has gone into the production of that food. Because you give it bad nutrients, it's going to produce bad fruit. Yeah, it's an apple, but it ain't a healthy apple. So how can it provide health for us, right? So, brothers and sisters, money isn't our problem. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said our problem is 2 things: fear and ignorance. Comprehensive knowledge, that addresses the ignorance. And taking full responsibility will take care of the fear. Because when you know that you control in your mind now, you might have a job. Everybody can't be self-employed. But that don't stop you from taking full responsibility and say, you know what, I'm not going to let them treat me like that at that job. I'm going to take full responsibility to go do something else. I'm going to take full responsibility to get out that situation. You be intelligent about it. But it's not this attitude, oh, well, I gotta eat. Yeah, you gotta eat. What fool go object and argue to the fact that you gotta eat? But you don't have to put up with that. It's your responsibility to get out of that situation. And number 2, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. But it is my responsibility. It's my responsibility to play the cards that have been dealt to me. Life deals you cards, brothers and sisters, right? Those that play spade and bidwish, right? And you have your cards, and whatever card you get on that deal, you don't say, man, I got a bad hand. I'm just whatever. I don't care. I ain't got no aces. I don't have no jokers. I don't have no kings, no queens. So you just play any kind of way. Nah, you say, man, this is a bad hand, but let me see how I can play it. Let me look at the board. Let me see what somebody else playing. Let me play the hand that's been dealt to me. And then they deal again. Second round, he gets you some more cards. Oh yeah, this is better now, right? But you develop the mentality and the mindset to play with a bad set of hands. So when you get a better set of hands, oh man, it's about to be on and popping. We're about to get this. Shoot, we about to make it do what it do. It's not your fault, but it's your and my responsibility. To the extent that we want to win and dominate the money game, is the extent that we have to take 100% responsibility for our entire life. Prioritize and start with the most important. And lastly, don't let them fear among you. Don't let them gaslight you, brothers and sisters. We've come this far by faith as Black people in America, Black American children of ex-slaves. We didn't get this far and survive the worst treatment that anybody has ever experienced in the annals of history. You just think about that. I'm here because my parents survived that. You're here because your parents, great-grandparents, great have survived that. So we're stronger than what we really even know that we are. So don't let them people frighten you. They control you with fear. That's why the Holy Quran that we're reading here in the month of Ramadan tells us to fear no one but Allah, because they can control you with fear. You can be manipulated with fear, self-imposed fear. Elijah Muhammad said 2 things are stopping us: ignorance and fear. They control you with fear. Don't be afraid. The only way you can be afraid, the only reason why you and I should be afraid and let them make us afraid, if we're atheists. We don't believe that there's a God. Not in our lips, but in our hearts, our minds, and our actions. I believe in God, but you letting these people frighten you. You just afraid. They just make you afraid and don't give you no solution. Just make you afraid. What's the solution? Don't have none. Just be afraid so we can manipulate you. These can be some very good times for you and I. If we don't let them manipulate us with fear, we know who really controlling this thing, and to say, this is disruption. I'm looking at, and not just an industry, but a whole governmental system being disrupted. And that means there's opportunity for those that understand and those that look for opportunity. That's what's going on now. That's what's so, don't worry, he's making his friends richer. What about you and me? How can we benefit from this disruption? Remember, I used to work for 2 Wall Street firms, major Wall Street firms. They say you buy when there's blood in the street. That's a phrase we use on Wall Street. You buy when there's blood in the streets. That's when you buy stocks. And when things improve, the economy improves, and the stock price go up, that's when you sell. You always do the opposite of the masses of the people. See, that's just understood in certain circles. That's just a way of life, a lifestyle in certain circles. It's not hard to see what the masses of people are doing, because we live among the masses. We live among the 85%. We live among the people that's being manipulated, who've been educated by mass media, mass education. That's what dictates the society. It's what's in the collective minds of the people that make up that society. Most people don't read, so what you need to do, you need to read. Most folks, though, black folks ain't really serious about money, not just getting money and buying a car. That's why do you think very, 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 very wealthy people, why they not on Instagram getting on a plane? They have children. Where they children? Why they children not showing you getting on the plane? Getting on the plane. Maybe, I don't know. I don't see him. You see him? Go look. Go take some of Warren Buffett. See if you can try to find his children, great grandchildren, and see if you see them walking through the mall with their Gucci bags. You know, she's letting you know, I just been shopping. I got 2 bags of, you know, high-end, you know, products. We're not judging. We're just aware of our environment, right? We're just aware of the financial environment that we're in. We're financially conscious. Once you peel the veil off your eyes and you put on those glasses, brothers and sisters, you'll see things a whole lot differently. And you'll see that there is a way out of this matrix. All right, so let's take a break real quick. I'm going to see if we can get our brother Courage Coach on. If not, then we'll have some final words. But stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, brothers and sisters, we are back. We'll see if the Courage Coach will join us. I called and went straight to voicemail. So God willing, inshallah, he'll join us. But brothers and sisters, this is the money game so black people can win and dominate. I am your host, Brother Daryl Muhammad. And this is episode number 15. So if you're just joining us, welcome. We're here every second and fourth Sunday of the month, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So mark your calendars, brothers and sisters. We're coming from a totally different perspective when we talk about money. And it's only for a few, right? It's only for a few because most people just want more of the same. Once again, we just finished talking about disruption. They want more of the same. They want to know what's the latest money-making opportunity. They want to know, crypto. They want to know about real estate. They want to know about stocks, bonds, mutual funds. They want to know about, right? But that's not our problem. That's not going to solve our problem. See, be concerned with you and yours, right? Don't be concerned about others, you and yours. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that self-preservation is the first law of nature. Then everybody else. Okay, but secure you first. Secure my family first. Secure my 4 daughters first, and now my 2 grandbabies. See, as they grow, there's more for me to secure, more for me to take 100% responsibility for. So I just can't make enough money for me. I just can't just build enough of a lifestyle for me. If something happened to them that's from my loins, and I love the flesh of my flesh, blood, bone of my bone, I'm not going to try to help them. You're not going to try to help yours? Shame on you. You're not trying to help yours? You should. If I got it. Well, get it. You know they're going to need it. How long you been living? You don't know the unexpected go happen? Right? When you least expect it? See, that's what I'm saying. See, it's the mind. The wealthy get wealth, not just, they win and dominate the money game, not just because they want things, they get the things, but they understand that we have to prepare for the unknown. Why do you think the super wealthy around here have underground bunkers? They think they can get away from nuclear disaster. They think they can get away from stuff like that. But what about you and I? We live in the quote unquote richest country in the world. People come from around the world and come get the bag out of our country that our forefathers built. It should be the blacks, the whites, and the Indians. We should be the ones with most of the wealth in America. Because we have the greatest amount of skin in the game in the early days in the development. They wouldn't have gotten here if it wasn't for us three. Now, no reparation. You want to take no reparation? I'm going to take my reparations out of the economy. I'm not going to pay. Now, if you want to give it good, that'll be extra. That'll be lagniappe, as they say in New Orleans, right? That'll be extra. But to need it, that's my fault. 100% responsibility. All right, brothers and sisters. So go to the moneygamebook.com. Go there, write it down, themoneygamebook.com. That's where you can go to get my book. I don't want you to go to Amazon, because Amazon gets your name. Amazon gonna sell you something else. Amazon gonna get you to spend more money with them. See, when you understand the game, I want you to come through my website, themoneygamebook.com. Go there Tuesday. We're doing some changes to it. Go to it Tuesday and get the book. You're going to get 2 free gifts. You're going to get an audio called The Money Game to give you an idea kind of what I mean when I say the money game. Words have different definitions to different people. They use it differently, right? And then the second gift, and that's the announcement. The second gift that I promise is once we reach and exceeded 100 subscribers to that website, themoneygamebook.com, we're going to have a private Zoom call with you and me. You and me, so we can talk about this book. That's why you want to get it. Class, what my boy Prince say? Class is in session. Right? See, we got to stop, and I talk about my book, we got to stop romanticizing being financially free. It ain't really about being rich. It's about being financially free to do what you want, when you want, where you want, how you want it, and with the people that you want to do it with. That's financial freedom. And it don't require you being a quadrillionaire. It requires you and I having a comprehensive understanding of money, being financially conscious about money. And then we won't get swindled out of our wealth, because we're getting swindled out of our wealth. I learned 30 years ago, if the average person makes $25,000 a year for 40 years, that's $1 million that has come through their fingers. So everybody is a quote unquote millionaire on paper. Just imagine, oh man, million, if I can just keep 10% of that's 100,000, and I can invest that and do such and such with it. Where you had it, it came through our finger. We earned that amount. And I talk about it in my book, the thieves of you and I winning at the money game. The thieves is inflation and taxation. Inflation and taxation. So, brothers and sisters, thank you for being here. You want to share this stream. See, that's once again, so you got to understand. You share with people, if they resonate with it, they respond to it positively, not in lip service, but in appreciation by engaging themselves in what you shared and joining you in the future on that same information, on that same topic. See, and that's how you build like-minded people around you, not by their words, but by their response. And you do that by sharing that of good that you have found. And there's no, like I say, no judgment if they respond to it. Oh, man, thank you very much. I went to it. I saw it. Man, then you say, good. Come get some more. What do you think about what he said? Well, what can we do? What can you and I do? You see what I'm saying? That's how that works. And I got some information to share with you on the mastermind group, how to start a mastermind group. And you just start where you are. You always start where you are with what you have. You start with your family, and you start with the money that you have, the resources that you have right now. All right, brothers and sisters. So thank you for being here. Doesn't look like the coach is coming on. So we'll have to catch up with him next time. 2nd and 4th Sunday of the month, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you to Closing the Gap broadcast, just like ABC, NBC, CBS. This is our broadcast. Have a lot of good shows. You want to hit the subscribe. Oh, let me do this. I'm going to talk about money and forget about money. Right? One thing that I learned many, many years ago, and I put it like this. You can climb to the highest mountain in America and holler as loud as you can with a microphone and all that stuff. Unless you put your money where your mouth is. In America, you haven't said anything. Ain't nobody trying to hear what you're talking about if you don't put your money where your mouth is. That's the language in America. That's the communication in America. So you see there to support the Money Game Show, there's a Cash App there. Go ahead and donate. Nothing's free in America. You're going to spend some time, energy, or something. All right? All right, now support the Closing the Gap broadcast right there, brothers and sisters. If you don't donate, right, it doesn't hurt me because I understand the law of reciprocity. I understand the law of giving and receiving. It didn't say receiving and giving. The Bible says give to receive. See, that's a universal principle in law, and you and I ain't going to change that. So if we want to benefit from receiving, understand that you got to give first. Not give suspiciously, not give in doubt. Give knowing of a certain that is going to come back. You don't know when, you don't know who, you don't know where from, but you just know it is. Because the law is not going to not be the law. Right? So that's, once again, it's a consciousness. Consciousness you bring to your money. And you can get consciousness right now, right here on this show. All right, brothers and sisters. So thank you for being here. Right? Ramadan Mubarak. It's dark now. At the break, I should have got something to drink. But it's dark now, brothers and sisters. It's time to break our fast. We'll see you at the top, not from the top, because you, your family, but most importantly, our Black community deserves your very best. See you next time.